Welcome to the channel. All right, we're live. I'm your host, EJ Parker of Vintage Classic Solutions, my antique and vintage store. You're in it with me. It's freezing. That won't stop us, right? It's like, I don't know, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I sold some stuff. This is great. So I'm experiencing um, some trends, I guess I can say. So with my brick and mortar store at Timeless Treasures in Mentor, Ohio, I have things listed or things on my shelf. You know what I mean? In my little room, my little antique and vintage store within the like an antique mall, right? And I put things in there and I see if they sell. If they don't sell, I move them back to eBay. I've done that with a few things, and a couple things sold. One thing sold like a glass blobfish that sold on eBay. So that was in the brick and mortar store for about a week and a half. And then I put it on eBay again, or on eBay for the first time, and it sold in like 3 or 4 days. So eBay is outperforming the brick and mortar store, I believe. But I have sold in the brick and mortar. But the problem is, though, the weather has been so tough here in Northeast Ohio. So it comes down to this: if you're looking to start your own brick and mortar endeavor, before you move in, I mean, be prepared with your inventory and your shelving, whatever, and your will and your fighting power and love of antique vintage. But make sure the place you move into has foot traffic, because you can have the best antiques in the world and give them away, but if there's no one coming into the antique store to take them away, you can't even give them away. So right now the weather's hitting against us, and in my city or town, it's like a small city, big town. There's certain patches along the main road that are like just dead for like business. I don't know, like just people don't go there for some reason. It's a nice area and everything, but just like certain areas, maybe because it's too busy, the traffic or whatever. Um, but the weather's been so cold, it's tough. So we'll see how that goes. I'm prepared. Either way, I'm flexible to stay in there for another month or two, or just make next month my last. I don't know. I have to see how this month performs. I'm always thinking ahead. Um, but I can get out of there really quickly and just put things back on eBay and make more money. I mean, that's the whole point. I like having a presence, though, and I like hanging out with people there. It's fun, but I have to make money. We already have a storage unit. You know what I mean? I don't need another storage unit. My garage, aka the shop, is what I sell out of. I store things. We also have a legitimate storage unit, so I don't need another one. I need to make money off that, and if it's not working, I want to move elsewhere or just focus on eBay. More so than I did, last year. Or just relist stuff. You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of stuff and it sells. Just gotta relist it. So speaking of what sold, my coffee's turning to ice. Gone. Gone Bay. It's this garage is 100 years old. There's no insulation, so basically it's cold outside as it is, or it's cold inside as it is outside. But I make believe like it's warm in here. So what's sold, right? Let me show you. Let me get it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I promise. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. All right. So this is what I sold. I feature this on a YouTube short. This is a blobfish. Check this out, everybody. This is a contemporary unsigned. This is my antique inventory. I'm an antique and vintage dealer. This stuff's for sale. All this stuff is most of it's for sale. The Nirvana shirt, that's mine. That's a real Nirvana shirt. A lot of the Halloween stuff I kind of keep. Some for sale. But there's like antique and vintage all throughout, and there's art. But I sold this. So this is like an art glass studio made blobfish. I put this on my store, my brick and mortar store, Timeless Treasures in Mentor, Ohio, for about a couple weeks. It didn't sell, so I moved it to eBay, and it magically sold. And thank you to my buyer. Thank you so much. So now I gotta pack it up and ship it. I made about 30 bucks, give or take. I gotta find the right box that's secure. This is the fun part. Some people like this part. I like shipping stuff. It's a puzzle. If you like this stuff, please subscribe and like. I'm your host, EJ Parker. This is my antique and vintage store. You're along for the ride. So I gotta find the right size box, not too big, not too small. I might take my gloves off. The gloves, just gonna my ring. I don't do glass. I have a lot of glass things. I don't do rings with glass. It's just dangerous. Break it. That bottle might, or this box might be too big. I collect bottles, so I'm aware of glass and the fragility of it. Let's see. So. I have a lot of cardboard off camera. You can probably hear it. I'm jumping into it right now. What is this? I don't know. It's got to be the right size box. Otherwise, can't be too big, can't be too small. That's not going to work. Let's see. So we are in Northeast Ohio. We are live. It's very, very cold. But I'm a one-man band. This is my, I sell on eBay. Vintage Classic Solutions. You can follow along. You can follow along my whole life. It's plugged in. My life is an open book for you to see. You can follow my business on eBay, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, and then on YouTube right now. You know what I mean? It's all plugged in. And I'm also a professional bass player, by the way. I've toured the world with professional, famous musicians, pop stars, and jazz people. So there's a whole other element to my life. But right now I'm focusing on the antique and vintage because I live in a small town. I used to live in a really big city in China, Shanghai, but I relocated back here with my family to freeze our ass off, apparently. Trying to just get these labels off. Is this box gonna even work? I try to clear labels off because, it just confuses the postal service or whatever. Is this box gonna work? No, I want a deeper box. Alright. Let's see. Boxes everywhere. Ooh, what about this one? What about this one? Let's see. Nah, that's not gonna do it. It's kind of an awkward shape, so you gotta have enough clearance. I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna use this big one. I'm not gonna mess around with glass blobfish because when are you gonna find another one of those? And my customer would be really sad if it got damaged, as I would. So I'm gonna tape this box up. Blobfish. I wish I knew who made it. It's unsigned. It's great though. The cranberry, red, pink color. Alright, so this box is gonna come together. Gonna put it. I can't read the chat right now. I'm so sorry because I'm busy with all this stuff. I need to get a better setup once the Wi-Fi gets worked out in this garage. But thanks for joining me. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live. By the way, yeah. All right. So, this is all scrap recycled paper that I find throughout my day, and I collect it so I don't have to waste money on buying scrap. Oh man, I got all this. Oh wait, I got all this stuff from Smokeology. Shout out to Smokeology in Painesville. I got all this bubble wrap. What am I doing? Check this out. I'm messing around with scrap paper like a dope. Check this out. This is like an upgrade. So I go out in my day, and my friends at Smokeology gave me this bubble wrap, which is awesome. So you can wrap things up. I gotta find the right tape though. I want to use like a masking tape. I'm surrounded by tape. It's gotta be the right one. The right one never can be found at the right time. When it comes to tape. This is my hot. Oh, here we go. Got it. My Hot Mess Life, aka my antique and vintage store. This is the tape. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live. Check it out, y'all. Freezing. But if you focus, pretend like you're on like a white sand island, then it's a little bit better. I pretend the snow is white sand. All right. I have been to White Sand, New Mexico. When I was a kid, my family went to White Sands, New Mexico, and it is white sand. I think it's near Studio 51. I think it's near Area 51, or what's it called, Area 55 or whatever. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Bubble wrap. That's perfect. Oh, So good. It's the small things in life, folks, gotta celebrate. Like free bubble wrap. Because who wants to be bubble wrap? It's expensive. Alright. So taping up this blowfish, or I'm sorry, this is a blobfish. And by the way, those blobfish, they only look that weird bulbous look when they're out of the water because like they're gelatinous, and when scientists bring them up, like that huge pressure shift makes them look like that, all weird. It's not. They don't like that. I think in the bottom of the ocean they look normal, or more normal, I guess. But they have no swim bladder. I don't know. All right, so I'm just gonna line this box with more cardboard. It acts like a double box kind of deal, and then put more scrap paper in there. Thank you for joining me. By the way, we're about 2 miles south of Lake Erie. I want to go to Lake Erie and bring all you with me, but it's gonna be today's gonna be brutal out there. It's brutal not near there. So I imagine being near Lake Erie, like on the shore right now, it would just be like straight up ridiculous. Like just winds, like seagulls flying back, like frozen seagulls flying backwards in the wind. All right. Okay, so now I want to add something else. I'm gonna add a little more bubble wrap, courtesy of Smokeology. It's the good stuff, folks. That's the sound of the good stuff. All right, in the blobfish goes. Ooh, I want to do this. Check this out. I want to do this too. This is like a little extra. So I'm gonna make a little like burrito, cardboard burrito, right? So bam, scrap cardboard all rolled up. Put the blobfish inside like so, and now it's an extra level of protection. Gotta just make sure it fits in the box correctly. And my hands are frozen. Oh my gosh, get the gloves back on. Holy guacamole, folks. Holy guacamole. All right. But if you stay busy and you I don't know, like talk a lot or something, you can just kind of forget it's cold. But every once in a while you remember, like, oh my thumb, I forgot I had a thumb. It doesn't work anymore, you know? So you gotta stay aware of your appendages or whatever. All right. Cutting this box again. Another one, gonna roll it up. Cardboard burrito. All right, so the studio glass blobfish is gonna go inside. So what else did I sell? Check this out. So this is another thing you gotta think about if you want to sell stuff in a brick and mortar antique vintage store or whatever, collectible store. So I found about a week ago a personal diary, like a journal from like a Christian tradition, like someone, it's like from like 2008 through 2012. It's like right there. I don't want to mess with it right now because I sold it. Someone abroad, it's an international sell. It's a journal. I think a female wrote it. It's all handwritten from top to bottom. It's five notebooks and they're all taped together. I found it at a thrift store and I read a little bit. It's a window into someone's life. It's what it is. And I read a little bit and then I realized I don't have time to read it. I have so many projects going on. And it's like I can't. So I just sold it. I put it on eBay and sold. It sold in about 3 days. I think I made $30. Those things sell, but it's got that's totally an eBay thing. I don't think that would sell for $30 in a small little antique store. If you live in a big city, London, New York, okay, Berlin, in a bookstore, yeah, but in a small town, it's gonna sit. Someone donated that to a thrift store and I bought it, This tape is frozen. So I gotta pack that up. I don't know. I might do that tomorrow morning. Depends on how frozen I get from this. So all right. So the blobfish is now in. Let me show you what's going on here, folks. I'm a professional vintage and antique dealer. Please subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Disheveled man bantering about antique and vintage stuff. I love it. Hope you do too. So this is the the blobfish wrapped in bubble wrap, and then it's wrapped in a cocoon of cardboard. And then now it's gonna go to the box. Let's see. So to make sure, let's slide around. So here we have tissue paper, which is great for glass, especially like things like Christmas ornaments, like mega delicate things. You gotta have tissue paper on hand. All right. So that. Cool with this. Cool with this. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. All right, gonna reinforce the box yet again, because I learned the hard way. You know, for like years I was doing it the opposite. I would put the item in a box like this, and then I'd pack it up, and then I'd get another box on the outside, or I'd cut up a big box and like wrap it on the outside. That's a pain in the ass, and you're wasting a ton of tape and cardboard. So this is like the opposite, and it makes the package smaller, so you save money on shipping. It's all around, in my opinion, a better method. Because the other way, you're using so much tape. So now I'm just lining this inside interior with more cardboard. And then making sure, all right, it's all cool. So it looks like this. Check it out. Now I'm just gonna fill in the sides with more scrap paper. My hands are frozen. I mean, you know it's bad when like you're staring at the snow on the ground inside and it's not melting. It's like compiling. Like, oh, it's gonna melt. Like, no, it's not gonna melt, EJ. It's just gonna stay there. That's just the way it is. All right, so putting more scrap paper so the thing doesn't rattle around inside. You always gotta have a ton of scrap paper on hand. All right. And then I gotta line the top with it. Some scrap paper on top. And then one more piece of cardboard on top of that. Then I'll tape it up and I think it's done. So this is I dubbed this secure. Got my label. I don't mess around with glass. I'll ship anything made of glass, and I've shipped glass vases that tall, like mid-century swung vases by Viking Glass and like L.E. Smith. They sell for good money, and you can ship them. You gotta be, you know. That's something you want to do in the summertime or the spring outside. You can have a lot of room. Because right now it's kind of cramped in here, and there's snow on the ground and stuff. But those you can ship. All right, so I'm just packing this scrap paper. I think it's good. All right. Today, what did I find? What did I find today? I found something. It's like a big blur now. I find so much stuff, and I just put it away. What did I find? I found something. Or was it last night? Oh, so cold. All right, so that goes on top. Make sure that's good. Bam, fold it up in a shake test. Make sure I don't hear anything rattling around, that I don't. You don't want to hear anything rattling around. All right, cool. We're gonna tape this up, then I'm gonna write fragile, and then bam, tape's frozen. Oh no, don't freeze. We're almost there. Okay, the tape behaves differently in this weather. Just be aware if you're shipping stuff. Oh man. All right, so that looks pretty good. Get the label. Where is this going? Let's see. Who do we think? Vermilion, Ohio. All right. OH. So that's not too far from here. Oh my gosh. So cold. Thank you, Ohio. Yeah. Keeping the blobfish within the state. I like that. Stays in Ohio. All right. Well, I'm going to read some Edgar Allan Poe for those of you who enjoy poetry by that guy, who's awesome. I'm gonna do that. I guess I should do it live. Depends on how I want to treat that. You know what I mean? I'm a musician at heart, or professionally, so it's kind of like thinking about it from a few different aspects of how to do it. But I want to read probably a cask of Amontillado. I can't speak out here, it's so cold. Oh no. Please cooperate. Tape. Cask of Amontillado. Here we go. It's like 4 pages, like a short story, right? If you know it, you know it. If not, it's awesome. Paints a really great pitch, scary, like not scary and gory, but spooky, but not a ghost story. You'll see. It's good. It's good. And the cool thing is, some of the bottles, check this out. Some of the bottles, I'm a bottle collector, and I sell too. But some of the, like the bottles, the wine bottles, like the Medoc, in the story, I have a wine bottle, a Medoc, which is France, wine bottle from like 1810, right when this is from. So the bottle they have in the down in the crypts. On the way down, he breaks open a bottle of Medoc, and I have that bottle from that era, and it's a beautiful, spooky looking bottle. So I'm gonna have that in the background. I have candles. I gotta get that down though. I gotta get everything ready. I want to do that right. All right, so thank you, Ohio. I'm gonna do the shake test. This is a glass blobfish. How about that? Glass blobfish. They sell, right? Strange and unique cells. So now I gotta write fragile. Where's my marker? Here we go. Fragile. Bam. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That goes in the to-go box. That'll go out first thing tomorrow morning. And then I have that. Let me just show you. It no longer belongs to me, but this is going abroad. I'm excited. Someone just bought a window into someone's life for like 34 bucks. You never know what you can find in that thrift store, folks. You never know. This is what we found. This is what it sold. This personal journal that someone compiled. You can see it's taped together. Bam. Right? So that's it. This sold within like 10 minutes of that blobfish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 personal journals taped together. Isn't that cool? I read a little bit. It's like it's Christian tradition, like Christian faith, someone's life, like 2008, 2012. It's you know, those things sell, by the way, on eBay. People buy and sell journals, like vintage. That's not even vintage. That's 10 years old, give or take. You know what I mean? So it doesn't even have to be vintage. They'll sell because it's an interesting read. It's an honest look into someone's life. It's you know, it's nonfiction, right? For all we know. So they sell. So be aware of that. If you see something out and about a journal, just get it. If it's affordable, and then you could learn something. Maybe there's some mystery of life hidden in that journal that you can unlock, right? And then you could sell it on your eBay store and pass it on to someone else, right? Imagine that. I want to do that because what if there is some kind of mysterious life, you know, divine mystery unlocked in that journal, but I missed it? Well, what are you gonna do? I mean, I can't do it all. I'm trying to do everything. You know what I mean? It's all we can do is our best while I freeze. I haven't been focusing on the chat. I'm sorry, I've been so busy. But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna end this live stream because I'm frozen. Gonna get some hot coffee and think about my next move. But I promise you'll be a part of that. Until next time, thank you for checking in.